All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Live and Mail Call, all whatever. Of course, I'm Steve, and we're coming to you live from. I can't resist. Sorry, folks. I just can't resist. And of course, I have my co-host here.
Good morning, all. That's a good
Like I said,
song.
I can't resist doing that. Let's go through our roll call. Ray Ron was in first this morning, right after I put the stream up, and followed not too long thereafter by Lee from Ample Road, out in the loft. Bernard's here. Hey, Bernard. And he's off in the corner, and he's got himself in timeout, I guess. And Floyd Robbins, Floyd, welcome. Floyd's from Ontario, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. John Schuylkill River Valley, and from just outside of Philadelphia, near the King of Prussia area. And we got JD, Grandpa Rails, from Burleson, Texas, formerly of the left coast. And I think that's it for right now. So, how's everybody doing this morning? I know John and I have been talking for about the last 15 minutes or so, and just shooting the proverbial shit and just having a good time. As you notice, I'm not all bundled up because it's about 40 degrees warmer out here today than it was last week.
Yeah, and I'm about 50 degrees warmer, so we're good.
I got my Mr. Rogers cardigan on, so it's welcome to my effing neighborhood, and we're just having a good old time.
Yes.
Hi, hey, hi, how you doing? And and hi, of course, is from the Netherlands or Holland or Netherlands or however you want to choose to do it. Or say it, classify it, whatever. And he's from the southern area of the Netherlands, the southeastern area. He's not too far from Venlo, as I understand it. So,
and not too far from my daughter either.
Where's your daughter at?
She just moved. She's in the southeastern part of the Netherlands, not too far from Germany. So
yeah,
I plan.
Venlo's actually on the German border. The hotel I stayed at in Venlo, you could look out my window into Germany. That's how close it was.
So. Well, I plan on getting over to see my daughter sometime in the Netherlands, and I will definitely try to hook up with Hi while I'm over there.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I was over there judging the world's largest koi show there in Arson, which is just north of Venlo. And but I didn't have really any time other than the koi show and related activities. But all throughout that area, you got Eindhoven, Nijmegen, and what's the anyway? Anybody that's watched The Bridge Too Far? A Bridge Too Far. That road goes right through Holland, and I mean, we drove on parts of it, but there's all kinds of sights to see, and we didn't have a chance to do that. So anyway, Arnhem, that's it, Arnhem. Oh, you live by Arnhem? I thought you lived by Venlo. Okay, excuse me. No, I'm sorry.
I think he's a little farther north.
Yes, Arnhem's further north. All right. So I was mistaken. So, I've been trying to get some work done. Again, going through totes, sorting everything out. And it's always a fun time. It's like Christmas time. And, here's the other workbench that's behind me, full of stuff. I'm trying to sort things. All the wall warts are out over there. I've got my electrical, it's a makeup thing that folds out, and I keep all my electrical supplies in there and so forth. And then on the far right's the painting. And anyway, got all my tools, power tools, battery tools over there. And but if you look, you see this chain over here on the left hand side. That's the tennis ball that you aim the car at to park it in this garage. But behind it, you'll see a piece of hardboard, masonite, and that's the other section of backdrop or backboard for the shelf layout. And I've got to put a real tight curve. I don't like corners. All right, they just bug me because they don't flow, and then they steam, and anyway. So I'm used to doing sweeping curves, just gently bending the masonite, and it works well. Okay, and I've never tried to do a tight corner, and that's what I need over here in this corner down that direction. If I could change back to camera again, go back to this one and hang tight. All right, and let's bring this one around. All right, and what I'm talking about is up there, that corner over. All right. And so I want a fairly tight corner. And when I say tight, I'm talking like 4 to 5 inch radius. And historically, if I ever tried to do something like that, it snaps the board, all right, or cracks it. But I remember watching Larry Puckett, the DCC guy. I think his channel is Model Railroading. He's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
And he did one of his videos is on how to make tight curves using masonite.
Mm-hmm.
And what he, a friend of his told him how to do it was he used the original Windex. Hang on a second.
Yeah, because it has ammonia in it, which is what makes the masonite soft. I watched that same one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So, the original Windex.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, for this next week, we're supposed to have highs up in the mid to upper 50s. I think even a couple days it's supposed to get in the 60s. Now that I don't have the freeze issue, I'm going to go ahead and do that bend, and so that I can finish off everything up there, so I'm ready to lay the cork and trach. Okay.
And what are you going to use to bend it?
My hands?
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, I'm saying you ought to put something in there to bend it around, like a piece of PVC pipe, something you can lay across it, and you can hold onto the board and actually use the PVC pipe to make a nice, consistent radius.
I've got a section I had a section, I don't know if I still have it or not, a 4-inch PVC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking around. But if that doesn't work, I can always use a little can of paint, or even Durham's water putty. All right, use this can if I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll figure something out. That's the easy part.
Okay, well, I'm glad. We like it when it's easy.
I love it when it's easy.
Well,
I
don't
like
you have?
two things: easy things and free things.
Yes, if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah. I didn't ask John. I'm assuming my sound was okay. I didn't see
Yeah, and
John.
he didn't say anything this time, but Anthony Dodge has joined us.
Hey, Anthony! And Choberton Junction, welcome.
Mhm.
Welcome. Anthony's up there in Toledo. I don't know where Choberton is. He'll have to chime in and let us know what part of the world he's from. And right now we got Europe covered, Canada, U.S., all over the U.S. So,
Yeah.
cool beans.
Well, with Grandpa Rails moving, now we don't have coast to coast, but so he messed that up.
Yeah, well, it's not that big a deal.
I'm
No.
sure he's happier in Texas, though.
If I never get back to California, it would be too soon. So I used to go out there on business all the time. So,
Well, I went out
anyway.
there on business, but it was military business, and I was in Fort Irwin, so I didn't see much of California, just desert.
Yep.
Just desert. But it was a fun time.
Thank you, John. I just missed it. So.
Yeah, and he says much happier in Texas. Yeah, I can imagine.
Everybody's happier in Texas.
Yeah.
And there's Mr. Raider. Welcome, Joe. Out there in Maryland, down the road from Ray Bobel.
Mm-hmm.
Bubble, however it's pronounced. So.
Very good.
It's hard to figure out how some people pronounce things. So, like you look at my name, and 9 out of 10 people will say Childers. Okay, and but if you look at the spelling, and it's Childers. Okay, so
Well, that always messes me up, Steve, because I had friends in Florida that were the Childers.
Right, and
Spelled the
I have
same
relatives. I have relatives that pronounce it Childers, so it's no big deal. Matter of fact, I was watching a movie. I was watching a series on Netflix, I think, called Liberator, and there was a Lieutenant Childers in that movie. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So,
good morning, Joe.
What did you acquire this week, John?
Well, first I actually did some work on my layout for a change.
You did work?
I did work. I've got a 10-foot section and the curve. Dog, come here. Dog.
The curved dog?
Oh, well, no, the dog. I keep the dog in this end of the house with me. No, the where I come off my T section and turn and go into the 10-foot section, I laid all that road bed. Of course, a little bit at a time because I don't have enough weights to keep it all down, but put all that in. I put in it as double track, and it starts about midway down the left side of my T section, and then goes all the way around the end of the T section onto the 10-foot board. So let's say I laid probably, I don't know, 18 feet of double track road bed. So I got a little bit done.
Ink has joined us as well, so welcome. And you told me you had a couple of mail call items?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, before I get to that, I had some more updates on the track. I actually got my spray booth up and got it going. Um,
Cool.
and for the window, I made a little section for the vent to go out, so I can still close down the window on top of it and seal it all the way across. Because it does get cold here too, Steve, and I didn't want that cold air blowing in under the window or it coming back in. But that's just a little piece of foam I cut out to fit in there. Works good. I may put some like plastic on the outside of it and then do a veneer on the inside of it so it has a little bit extra protection outside, from the sun and rain, and inside so it just looks a little better. Maybe I'll paint it white so it won't look like I have the window open at all. But
There you go. There you
yeah,
go. Mr. McCurdy has joined us. Welcome back, Lynn. And you didn't think we'd been on this early. This is the same time we've always been on, Lynn.
well,
It's
not
just Central Time Zone.
yeah, it's not for you, but you're a different time now.
Yeah, but it's the same time for everybody else. Let's put it that way.
Yes. I was glad you kept it that way.
Yeah, I just figured everybody's used to that time. No use confusing everybody and doing that. So.
Yeah, heavens know we're all confused enough as it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mail call. First thing, and I've already put it on the engine, so I can't show you. I did finally get the railing for my GP35 that I got that was missing the hand railing. The envelope didn't look too good, but it did get here all the way from Westminster, Colorado. And I hadn't gotten mail here in 10 days because of the icy roads, so it finally arrived. I was also happy, and you probably got this, but I usually get it before you do. Did get mini prints, box.
I suspended my subscription due to the move. All right, I didn't want to just be, I got enough mini prints to paint. It'll last me a long time, and once I get it warm enough in here to paint, I'll be resume painting and do all that. So,
well, this mini prints you got. I don't know what I'm gonna use this for. We got a dragon. I don't know if I can there.
Okay.
Because it's the year of the dragon or month of the dragon or Chinese New Year, I guess. Let's see. And I know most of us that give mini prints has seen his ad for the signboard that you can light up because it's the not clear but opaque
translucent.
Thank you. And it does come with some letters to put in there. Probably can't.
Oh, cool.
And he also provided a link where you can go in and actually make your own, and it's on the page that it comes with. There's a free downloadable font that you can print on like a transparency paper. It's the font is 3603 Marquee is the font that you can download to do your own messages on there. Like a lot of people have done for veterans and for other things that you see on Facebook and YouTube all the time. People put up some neat little sayings on there.
Did you get the outhouse?
No, I did not buy the outhouse.
Okay.
And another one is a girl that's part of the Close to the Edge set.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then there's also let me take it out of the bag. Well, a 40-foot roll-off dumpster.
Oh, okay. Does it have doors?
It does have doors. It has doors that you can set up there in two pieces, so you can have them open or closed.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's good. And let's see what else. I'm trying to get them out of the little bag here. Yeah, here's the two doors.
All right.
I can't get my hand going the right direction, but that's both of them there. And then there is an ice machine, which I think is real cool. And again,
Oh yeah, for like out in front of a store.
yes. So I can't even get
That's it.
my light right. And it has a separate applied door also, so you can have it open or closed. And then I haven't figured out what these are yet. I need to read the paper. They're like gas meters, it looks like.
Utility meters. Okay.
Yeah.
Electric meters, gas meters.
Yeah. Let's see if it says on here. He usually tells. Ice machine.
Lynn's got the outhouse. Now, what was the? There's one of the things that Mini Prince put out that had a sound card from Iowa Skilled Engineering. Was that the outhouse? Or?
The outhouse, yes. It has the some sounds coming from the outhouse.
Oh, okay. Well, Lynn says that those are gas meters, by the way.
Oh, gas. Okay, I was thinking they were some kind of meter, but I didn't see on here where he said what it was. I'm sure he did. I probably just missed it. But yeah, that's the mini.
I missed the lighted trash can one by a month when I started. That was another neat one to get. So anyway.
And then my last thing for this month is those of you who watch Cousin Vinny, his Christmas one, he usually has a giveaway. And I was the first number to be called.
Well, lucky you.
And I got a CSX gondola. I mean,
all right,
hopper car.
So you're going to repaint it and letter it?
Most likely, yeah. Or I may just leave it like that.
What's the build by date?
It is, if I can.
Because it might be outside your.
Oh yeah, it's way outside. It's 700.
Oh yeah, that's outside mine too. I was gonna say if it's outside yours, you can give it to me, but it's outside mine too. So
yeah, if I'm
30 years, 30 plus years.
My eyes just aren't. I see the 7, and I can't tell what the two numbers after it is. let me get my my spectacles.
Yes, I gotta agree with Bernard. The other Bernard does have at Mini Prince does have some really neat stuff. So,
let me take my headset off. Can't have double things like Tom can. Yep, it's 00. So.
Yeah.
Little late for me. Little late.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm back on. So, but that's still nice. It's real nice of Vinny to do that. Everybody that submitted their name and what they were looking for got something. He's just phenomenal how he does that.
Yep.
Good guy. Of course, Vinny's now doing military models also. He did send his new card here. And it says, if it floats, flies, or rolls, I'll build it. And that's it.
I haven't seen him do any train videos in a while.
He's sort of reducing his layout. He's removing the third level. I think that's it. JD probably knows a little bit more about that than I do, but Vinny was getting to have so much on there, and he keeps hurting himself, and having
Yeah,
other health
that's
problems.
true.
It's a lot to maintain. Um,
Yep.
you end up doing nothing but maintenance all the time instead of running your railroad. So,
Yep.
I'd like to have long distances of runs also, but I figure if I get that 14 by 40-foot shed, well, there's two sides that are 40 feet long, two ends that are 14-foot long. That's a good, 108 feet of running space. It'd probably
Hmm.
take me the rest of my life to finish it anyway. So who knows? You know. But yeah, that's my big mail call for the week. What did you get,
Cool.
Steve?
As you probably saw in the cover photo for the stream, I finally found, ordered, and have received cork.
Ah, good.
Cork. Got a case of cork, and I got a case of Atlas Code 100 Flex Track.
Very good.
All right. So I'm not sure. I mean, if I really watch what I'm doing, that should be enough cork and enough flex track for this switching layout. I do need a couple packages of 3-inch Atlas Code 100 sections, and for the crossovers, because the way the double crosses are on the main line and the switches on the outer lines, I got to have a 3-inch section of track to be able to join those up.
Why
And
don't
I
you
also need to get.
switch your cameras? You got me big and you
Why?
little. I don't,
Oh,
because you were
yeah.
showing
Okay.
things and we couldn't see you.
I'm sorry, because I've got the full screen on here that I'm watching, not the stream over here.
Mm,
Anyway,
yeah.
so I need the 2 packs of 3-inch sections. I need one more right, one more left Pico turnouts. I need one 12.5-degree crossover, and I need 3, maybe 6, but at least 3 re-railer sections. All right. And not that I gotta have those. I just decided I'm going to put them in. There's a road on the prototype where they go, so I'll just use those and just make it easy
Mm-hmm.
on myself.
Yeah,
So
that's good. Yeah. It's fun to actually start getting to do something, that's for sure.
yeah. Hi, I watched that after the fact. I try to catch everybody's live streams and videos and all that, but I don't necessarily get to watch them when they're live. All right, but I try to catch them after the fact. So I did see that.
Well,
All
I
right.
was able to get into High's live stream this week, but I was a little late
Yeah.
getting there. Um,
Yeah.
there's always just something that comes up. I had to take my son finally got a job, and of course it was raining, and I had to take him to work, so he couldn't ride his motorcycle, and it needs a carburetor anyway. All these things always come up. So I got in there late, but I did get to see the end of it. So that
All
was
right,
good.
boy. Take care. Always tough going to those memorial services. I understand. So
Mm,
uh, that's what he's talking about.
yeah.
All right. So anyway, those are my two big things. And I came to the conclusion I'm going to change things. Now, when I originally put the workbench and stuff here together, I built this cutaway shelf on drawer slide, so that whole thing slides out. And I was going to have all my DCC stuff in the back on there. And I've decided, no, I don't want to do that. So what I am going to do is when I built the pegboard on the middle level here, I also put in some shelving track. You know what I'm talking about with shelving track, where you have these brackets.
Right, adjustable brackets. Mm-hmm.
Right, and so I'm going to put a shelf right across there, and then put all my DCC stuff. You know, my PM, as an example, the PM42. You know, the command center. My PR4 interface. You know, all that kind of stuff. Be up there on a couple power supplies that are plugged in to the wall, the quadplex power on a smart receptacle.
Mm-hmm.
So that, of course, I can tell the A lady to turn everything on or off. So that's what the game plan is. And you know, I'm kind of just butterflying, as Charlie Bishop would say, back and forth from these things as the temperature things allow me to do it. I don't want to get anything. I don't want to run my bus lines or anything under here yet because I still have. I want to get my cork roadbed down. I want to get the holes for the switch machines marked out and drilled. The drops all done. Then I'll put in the bus lines and get connected all up. So that's kind of the long-term plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Bernard, we can just watch and participate in what we can. All right. You know, now that I'm in the central time zone, I try to catch some of the 8:00 live streams throughout the course of the week, 8:00 p.m. And what's he doing? Change his day, moves it to 9:00. I got to watch the replay version of that as well, and Second Section podcast, and the Minnesota guys up at Twin City, whatever model, you know, TCM, blah blah blah. It's kind of like that one of those that Lynn's name is drawn out. So, anyway, hey Lee, send me the link for Sunday. I'm sorry I missed the other one. I just forgot. All right. And all right, JD, we'll see you back in a minute.
Yeah.
So those are the two things I got this week, and some of the plans I'm working on. The big one is to get that the masonite bent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest concern at this point.
Yeah, because you better hurry up with that, Steve. We're supposed to be having a high of 37 and a low of 33 on Sunday.
Well, yeah, I think that hits us too. But if you look after that, it's all 50s and 60s for highs. So we'll see. I don't know that I'll get it bent before then or not. So.
And like you said, I'm planning on rearranging my workbenches. Right now, all my paints are back behind me on this side, but my spray booth is down over at that end. So I'm gonna switch these two tables up and get all the paint and model building on the table here, this table here, and then have all my paints on the table here where my test track is, and I'll move that over there. So, just changing things up a little bit. think it'll flow a little better. I still have to be able to hook up my test track to my computer, which is in front of me down here on the floor. So I'm gonna have to get a long cable to run over to there.
Joe's got 68 degrees right now.
We're at 55.
That's what my house inside the house thermostat is set for.
Yep, mine too. But luckily, my train room is currently air conditioned / heated because I'm not in a garage since I don't have a garage.
Yeah. All right, you're gonna have to explain this to us, Bernard. BMT. I don't know what that is. So I'd be afraid to have my daughters build anything for me. Now my son on the other hand, all right, he can build anything. You know, I taught that kid well, and then of course he's got his Bachelor of Science in mechanical engineering too. So, and he keeps an automobile parts plant running. He's the plant manager, not the plant manager. He's the plant engineering manager. How's that?
Lynn has a 75 in the house. I'd be sweating, Lynn. That's too. Oh, that's right. You're old, so you need it warmer. I forgot about that.
You know, I'm used to the $400 to $500 utility bills down in Florida. I'm eating up these between gas and electric being under 200.
Yeah, I'm sure my next bill will be over 200, but we had that brutally cold weather and heater was running almost all the time. So yeah, but I run about 160 a month. You know, normal time. Even in the summertime, it's may creep up to 180. So it's much better.
Anybody know what? Bernard hadn't answered. Does anybody know what BMT is?
Yeah, Lynn said, but more trains. I think it means buy more trains, but
buy more trains. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's buy. See, yeah, buy more trains, Lynn, not but more trains.
T and Y, they're right next to each other on the keyboard, and I do that all the time. So.
Yeah, so it's yeah, I have that same saying too. Trouble is, I got all these trains and I don't have a track to run them on.
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
I'm hoping to get over to Whistle Stop Hobbies this next week and see if they've got any of the stuff. Because the two places I buy most of my stuff from, well, I like buying local, brick and mortar, because it's nice to have one available. Okay, but other than that, I like to buy a lot from Iron Planet Hobbies. Great discount, free shipping. You know, you can't beat it. So, and that's where I got the Flex Track. Now, you can get online and see if you can find a case of cork. Good frickin' luck. I found it, but it was from a wholesaler, Horizon Hobbies, back in Champaign, Illinois, the parent company for Athearn. So they had some, and I was able to get some from them. But I mean, it's like pulling teeth trying to find those two things.
There's a question there.
Am I building it? Yeah, I see it. Ink wants to know if I'm building a new layout in the shed. Yeah, not anytime soon, but yeah, I've got a shed out back, but it's 8 by 16. And I really can't build the layout I want in that, where's the fish? I really can't build the layout I want in that dimensions. I'd need at least 10 feet wide, because by the time you put a helix in, all right, with 28, 25 radius, inner and outer radius, because it will be a double lineup, one up, one down. You eat up a lot of space. So, and it'll probably be instead of 25, 28, it'll probably be a 26, 29. Just to make sure 85 feet cars, 87 feet cars, and my 210-2 can traverse it. Okay. Now, my 210-2 could traverse the old layout with 22, 24, 22 and 24 inch radius curves. The problem was the old layout had a whole bunch of grade changes. And because it's in a tight space, they were abrupt grade changes. When you put in a grade change, you really need to go from like a half a degree incline for about a foot, then add a half a degree, and so forth till you get up to the grade you want. If you're running a 2% grade, then you probably want a 0.5%, not grade, not angle, degree, whatever the word was. You want to make those changes gradually, all right, to build on it. And I prefer not even going to a 2%. I'd rather extend the helix and run a 1.5% grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a problem with my 210-2 going around 22-inch radiuses. So my main trach, the smallest radius will be 27-inch, and then the largest be 30-inch. So I shouldn't have any problem with that 210-2 then.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to go with 28 probably. 28 to 29 outer radius, and it won't be a circle. It'll be an oval like Sparky's.
Okay.
For those that watch Sparky 107, and it may be more of because anytime you have turns, you're adding resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you can straighten it out, even for a short distance, a 1.5 feet or so, that reduces that resistance, even though the grade is constant.
Now, have you decided how you're going to build that yet? Are you going to use just wood, or are you going to use the rods where you can have the
rods?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's the only way to build it because you have they're fully adjustable that way. Hey, Rick, welcome.
Yes, that is true.
And that way you can adjust them, and like I said, you can add that 0.5% degree or 0.5% intermittent to get to your whatever final grade you want to run with. And if you watch KD couplers, when you do an instantaneous grade change of let's say 1.5% or 2%, you watch those couplers and they slide. All right. And if you're not perfect, all right, they come uncoupled. That's why people always wonder why they have uncoupling on their helixes or on a grade. That's why. Even though a 2% is a good grade, when it's all at one time, that's not a good thing. You gotta move it up slowly.
Well, and then you remember I would have a trouble on your layout with. I had some scale head KDs.
Yeah, because they're even smaller heads with less tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they would uncouple like crazy.
Yep. So, but that had to work with what I had to work with, and I on the new layout, the shed layout. Of course, there's no grades on the switching layout up here, but in the new shed layout, everything's going to be flat except for coming in and out of a helix by design. First of all, when you model the Midwest, Chicago as an example, everything's flat anyway. Yeah, there's some minor grades, but you can make the undulations in the earth a whole lot better and give a perception of grades doing that versus actually changing the grades, especially on like I say, a Midwestern flat layout. So,
and mine, when I do build my main layout, it will be the same. I'm not going to have any grade changes in it other than helix.
Yeah, Rick was talking about. He's talking about the shelf couplers. All right, and yeah, they make those. What a shelf coupler is designed for is not to prevent uncoupling. They're designed to replicate couplers that are used on hazardous cargo cars, such as tank cars, so that if they come uncoupled, well, the shelf keeps them from ramming through, okay, and puncturing the tank. So, but in model railroading, it keeps them coupled together better.
Mm-hmm. And let's see.
Hey,
another thing I worked on is I had seen on, I can't remember if it was model, it was one of the short videos, but something I had been saving all the time is these Bic shaver single blade covers. I've been saving these things. I probably have hundreds of these. And
what are they for? What are you going to use them for?
they had these on a flat car, 4 of them, and in this flat area here, they had a decal. It said "Deliver to Caterpillar." So they're making that it's some kind of Caterpillar bulldozer piece
Part.
as just as a load. And I've always wanted to make a bridge out of these, because you got something that's formed that looks something like a piece of a bridge structure, and
as a cross piece, not as a span.
correct, as a cross piece. So I'd need a bunch of them for a good distance.
Hey, Robert. Yes. No. Yes. Today's Friday. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, Robert. 11 o'clock. Which brings me to another subject. Go ahead, John, and then I want to dovetail on what Robert just said.
No problem. So I'd use these for cross pieces and build a bridge out of them, because they look like a shape that could be used for a bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm a pack rat. I don't throw away anything.
Yeah. So what Robert's referring to, the Flying Crow, we get to meet up tomorrow. Robert is part of the train crew for a gentleman up southeast of Tulsa named Steve Davis. You may have seen him on. I've seen him on maybe it was the section crew. I'm not sure. But anyway, he's got this fabulous big Kansas City Southern layout, and that replicates. I think it replicates the area around Tulsa. I'm not sure. But Robert was going to bring Jason, but Jason couldn't make it, and Jason suggested that maybe I could go. And so Robert got a hold of me, and hell yeah, I'd love to go. So I'll meet Robert up at Steve Davis's up outside of Tulsa tomorrow. And here's the funny thing. One of my bosses way back 25 years ago, his name was Steve Davis. So when I first saw or heard about this guy, all right, I'm going, oh crap, is that my old boss? I got along with him great. It's not, don't get me wrong, I got along with him great. And but the guy I know, he'd be 80 plus years old by now, and at least 80 plus, if not pushing 90. And so I was just wondering, and then I saw a picture of him when he saw him on that podcast, and it's not the same guy. So I don't know. It might be his son though. Could be cool. Anyway, so so I'm headed. I leave out probably 8:30 tomorrow morning, headed for Tulsa.
Very good.
So, and for my first operating session, not on my own layout. So I'm looking forward to it.
We had some time on your old layout, though.
We did. I told Robert that I am the best conductor ever, and you vouched for me, John.
I'm an engineer. I don't lie.
I am not the best conductor ever.
And, I'm pretty good in math, but I don't even know how to calculate how good you are as a conductor.
They don't go that far negative.
There's too many variables. So, but no, we had some great fun on that layout. I wish I'd been around, when you had it even more complete.
I mean, there at the end, it rarely. At the end, the only time anything derailed is when I screwed up. So the track work I finally had all worked out. So track work and rolling stock, because a lot of it was rolling stock issues too. So,
never did see that glass canopy at the Chicago train station.
I haven't built it yet. I haven't even built it. I still got the kit.
Now look, how many years is it going to be before we see that finally built?
I don't know. Could be a while.
Hopefully,
I'm still
don't die first.
Nah.
No,
I'm thinking 2 years.
Okay.
I'm thinking 2 years before I start building before I change this. Unless I break down and I settle for something other than what I want.
So, it's kind of hard. It's hard to do that though, Steve. If you've got something in your mind and you settle for something smaller, you may not be happy.
No, I won't be happy. So.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to settle, I still need a new shed. I'd settle for a 2-deck layout instead of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I could get by with that, but I prefer 3-deck.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't think I'll go for 3 decks unless I just have 1 deck for staging. It'd probably just be 2 decks. I'm thinking.
Yeah, Robert, I'd love to come down. So, I mean, you're what, 2.5, 3 hours east of Dallas? So, yeah, I drive down, stay at my brother's house overnight, and then, hell, I could pick up JD and we pick up Jack on the way. I think Jack's between Dallas and you.
Well, then sometime you and I, Steve, need to meet at Jason's place. He's like halfway in the middle.
Too.
For an op session or 2.
Yeah, he's Malcolm in the middle.
Yeah.
Jason in the middle. So anyway.
But
Jack southeast of Dallas. Corsicana? I thought it started with a C. But
yeah. And the only thing else I worked on this week is I sifted some more ballast. For those, there's one spot where I go down the mountain where there's been a lot of an erosion from the granite rock that it's cut through. So I've just I stopped and picked up a 5-gallon bucket of the stuff, and I've been sifting out my own ballast. I got ultra fine, fine, medium, and coarse, and then boulder size. And yeah, it's a lot of work, but if it's free, it's for me.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Bernard, that's the whole purpose of this switching layout is so they'll have something to do and work on and uh, play with, so to speak, until I can determine what I want to do with the shed
Yeah.
situation. So,
Well, I don't know how much your sheds run in your neck of the woods, but ours for it's a very nice shed. 14 by 40 is 20 grand.
ooh, yeah, that's a lot. That's outside of my price range. I can get a 20 by 10 for 8 grand. All right. A 20 by 12 for 10 grand. So it kind of gives you that. So
Yeah, I think those. Well, of course, I want a 40-footer, so that's usually about double what a 20-footer is. So that makes sense. That's probably about what I'd pay for the sizes you mentioned.
but that Robert, those what we're talking about, at least what I'm talking about, has a floor already in it. You know,
Yes, yeah,
uh, there's some sheds you can buy that you have to supply the floor, right? Could be concrete as an example, and uh, it's more like a garage. But anyway,
these I think what
okay,
Steve's talking
all right.
about, they just bring out on a trailer and they offload them already put together, already painted. All you gotta do is add your
Yep,
insulation and your electrical and your wall board and usually some kind of ceiling in it unless you want to use the whole peak, but you still have to insulate that. But
still got
that's
to
what I
insulate it. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a pre-made wooden shed. I was looking at a steel roof instead of a shingled roof. And
well,
so
5 years ago, Robert. I don't know how long ago you got your shed, but 5 years ago, they were, you could knock 50% off the price, easy.
yeah.
Uh, but
And
everything's gone up so much.
these up here, you don't want to rent to own. They charge like 45 to 50% interest on a rent to own.
Oh, jeez.
So your
That's,
$20,000 shed is $40,000. I think mine was
yeah,
going to
because
be
you're paying.
38,000. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I gotta be able to buy one outright, and then they charge you additional for the
Yeah.
blocks that they use. So
Yep. Easy, Bernard. Easy. That's how much prices have gone up. So
hmm
luckily, Oklahoma hasn't gotten the brunt of all that yet. But lumber prices are lumber prices.
14 by
Yeah. See that, but that
34.
was 3.5 years ago. Was before
COVID.
everything went to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, before COVID and before our current administration. So
Now, what did you use in that 14 by 34 for heating, air conditioning wise? I'm thinking about getting some of those wall units to put up.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
just
he
gonna get
lied.
one.
It was
You might need two, but I'd only need one. Not,
yeah.
and I'm talking about the split, what's called a split unit. They're separate. It's not through the wall. You just run the piping through the wall. You hang the coil on the inside.
Right.
The other coil's down on the ground on the outside, and then the piping just goes through, and the piping's pre-charged. So,
Yeah,
all right,
that's what I'm
Anthony.
talking. And he said he did lie about the cost. It was 12,500.
Still, all right.
Yeah. So that shed probably nowadays would be about 16 grand.
Or more.
Yeah. Well, I figure if I can get a 14 by 40 for 20 grand, it's probably
I
midway
want to
in
know how they get a
between.
I want to know how they get a 14-foot wide one delivered. I
They
wouldn't
have
be able to go 14 feet.
they have to get a wide load um,
I couldn't get it
permit.
into my backyard without
Oh,
using a crane.
well, I've got 10.79 acres. I can get it any place I want.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't have, I think I've got 12 feet between the house and the fence.
I've got 140 feet between my house and the property line. Then if I go out back, I got 10 acres.
Yeah, I had a unit that was supposed to give me, it was supposed to be good for 450 square feet, Robert. Guess what? It wouldn't, it wouldn't, it wouldn't handle 250 square feet. So, totally. All right. It would lower the temperature in there, but when it was 95 degrees outside, it would be 87-ish inside. All right, which is still too hot for me. So that's why I didn't do many afternoon stuff in the summer.
Well, we had a few sessions that, as my wife would formerly say, lasted all day.
Bernard, here's the thing. All right, you think 14 feet's a waste. Let me explain. If I want to put in a 5-foot diameter, at least 5-foot diameter, and you think about 5-foot diameter, that's under 30-inch outer radius. All right, it's like 28-inch outer radius. Helix. Okay, that's 5 feet. Okay, then if you want 3 feet on the other side, that's 8 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, total. All right, so now you're at 8 feet. If you want to extend it out for a yard or make the helix bigger, I wouldn't go minimally 2.5 feet for a aisleway, minimally, and you can't pass one another. All right, at 3 feet you could squeeze by, right, John?
Yes. Well, it
And
depends on which way we had our bellies faced.
yeah, that's true. That
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. See, my aisle right here for this side is 31 inches. The
Yeah.
other side's only about 24 inches. And no,
2 feet.
we
That's tight.
yeah, but it's for me. I don't
That's
plan
true.
on having anybody here, so I can walk down that. This one I've
Yeah,
got
but
wider just because that's the way it came out here.
yeah. See, for me, if I have that 5-foot diameter helix, and it's an 8-foot, I can't. I don't have 1 foot maximum to play with on the opposite side, and
Yeah.
that's not enough to put a yard or anything in my opinion. Not enough to put a yard in. So that's at 8 feet. 10 feet I could get by, but it'd be cramped. All right. 12 feet would be comfortable, and 14 foot would allow for the helix to be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Have more tolerance.
Now, would you put that in a corner, Steve?
Yes.
The helix? Yeah.
Well, probably not. All right. The reason I say it depends on where I put the door. If I have one built, one helix may be in a corner. The other helix would be have a 3-foot aisle before hitting it again. So you would have a helix in the corner, all right, and it would wrap around the room and come around the other side. But then you'd have a straight section on the other side of the door, because if you're 20 feet and you got 5 feet and 3 feet door, 3.5 foot door, you're up to 8.5, 9 feet, and you still got 20. If I'm going 20 feet, I still got another 10 feet, 5 of which is a helix. So even after that, I've got a straight area there. So with a 12 by 20, okay, I could actually put the door in the middle and extend the helixes lengthwise like Sparky's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Well,
16 by 12, mine's 8 by 16. All right. And if I had 16 by 12, I'd probably settle for that. Now you have yours wraps all the way. You go all the way around, don't you, JD? You got a lift up bridge or some kind of bridge across the walkway, I think. I want to avoid that if I can do it because I had so many. I had, let's see, 1, 2. I had 3 of those situations in the old layout, and I don't want to do those anymore if I can avoid it. All right. I just want to walk in, turn the trains on, and let them rip.
Bernard, you are correct. 14 footers are a waste of material because it's hard to get 14-foot dimensional boards in that length. That's not a common size. However, that's the biggest they can transport in one piece is 14 foot.
Yeah.
Now you think about mobile homes. Yeah, if I had the money,
I'd
just buy a double wide mobile home and set out here with no interior in it. But
that's an idea. You could buy a container. All right.
Well,
And
put 2
I
containers
know
together.
Well, you got a 45-foot trailer would work, and they're 10 feet wide.
Yeah, well, 10 foot's still not quite wide enough. But I had thought about getting 2 containers and putting them right side by side.
Yeah, I don't know how much containers cost, but
you can get them around $5,000 each.
really?
So that's still less than the $20,000. Of course, they're a little bit harder to insulate. You'd have to, use a torch and cut the sides off to put them together, unless you make like a couple entryways in between.
Why not buy an insulated container?
Yeah, well, they're not $5,000.
No, but if you're going to buy a shed, it's not insulated either.
No, that's true. That is true.
So
they just don't make it easy for us.
Yeah, Robert, that's who I've been looking at, and I didn't see anything 14 foot wide from them. Their specs only go up to 12 foot wide, but 12 by 24 was over 10 grand, right? So,
14 by 40 was 20 grand. And that also does.
Does what? Did I lose my sound?
You got to insulate the walls. So
I think your picture.
Yeah, it was probably me.
Yeah.
But
All right, Joe, we're gonna wrap it up here anyway.
Yeah, I think I've seen those. And I believe the 16 footers, they come in 2 pieces and they assemble them on site together. And 16 would be probably the best size. That would definitely give you room for decent aisles. I am a member of a model railroad club here. We don't have a layout right now because we got kicked out of our accommodations, so we're looking for another spot. But there's quite a few of the guys that I'd love to be able to invite over to my home layout and have run sessions there. But I don't have the space here to have more than probably one person here with me. Plus, I don't have the trackage to really make it viable to do a session.
I'm looking up tough sheds here now. They had an estimator.
And I was talking about the places here that have the pre-manufactured sheds. They do a rent to own, but they have like 45 and 50% interest on it. So you're paying. I would be paying $1,000 a month for 48 months. That's $48,000. That's more than double a $20,000 shed. So I
wonder if the
couldn't do it.
garages are cheaper.
Well, the only problem with the garage is you have to, have your concrete slab put in to mount it on, and concrete's not cheap nowadays either.
Yeah, true.
My neighbor has a real nice high garage over there because he actually has a lift in it, and it's 40 by 50. And
Yeah, the Tough Shed website does not even give you a 14-foot option. It gives you 12 and it gives you 16, but it doesn't give you a 14. At least not here.
Yeah. Yeah, Bernard, there's always a lot of repoed ones on their sites. I saw one that I was really thinking about buying it. I think it was a 14 by 30 foot, but I didn't even ask how much they wanted because there were windows missing out of it, and somebody had abused it.
For a 10 by 20, all right, they're quoting 8,300, just over 8,300.
Yeah, I think that's about what my son paid for his, and his is 10 by 20.
For a 12 by 20, it jumps up to 9,400. 12 by 24, and this is without any added things to it. 12 by 24 is 10,600. 16 foot wide, 24 foot long is 14 grand. So I wouldn't be able to get that into my backyard, I don't think. And the longest they have is 26 feet, and that's 16.4. Robert, I'm on the Top Shed website. So I just enter my zip code, and I'm getting the quotes right off of that. So we can talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, anyway, John, we're past our 1 hour.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And I guess for a while your record for running a train continuous without.
Good point, Bernard. That may depend on your state. All right, but I think you're right for most states. Just don't let them know you heated or cooled it, because if you heat it or cool it, technically it's living space and taxable, even if it's a shed.
Well, our sheds here in Tennessee, the ones that people are living in, are not. They're not even inspected.
So
there's no home inspections other than electrical and plumbing. Nothing else gets inspected.
Because it's out in the county.
Yeah. So
once you move into a city, different story.
Well, of course, in St. Petersburg, I could only have an 8 by 10, even though mine was 10 by 12. I didn't care.
Hey, Kyle. Anyway, we'll continue the shed discussions. I want to thank everybody for joining John and I here at the Retirement Railroad Friday Live from and also from
Yes, and I'm not
Can't
too
resist,
far
guys.
from there either.
Can't resist. So, all right, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. Robert, I will see you tomorrow at 11 or
Very
thereabouts. So you got my phone number. I got your phone number. So should be a good time. You said I didn't have to bring anything. I'll bring a, well, I'll have my cell phone. I'll bring my Digitrax throttle too, just in case. So,
And take some pictures that you can share next Friday.
I will do that. I'll take some pictures and some video both. All right. Anyway,
Good.
everybody, thanks again.
Have a great day.
We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye bye.